And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. Who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know. I just think he's an all around for the people. So I don't think he's not delusional in any way, shape, or form. He believes in what's right.
Not delusional? I mean, do you think it was delusional for him to say that the climate's going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet, or for him to say that
I mean, that's
windmills are
irrelevant,
causing
though.
whales to numbers never seen before, or that the election in
I mean, that's
2020
all.
was rigged?
Well, humans aren't whales, so that doesn't matter. You
Well,
know,
no, but it's
he's
delusional,
for the
right?
people. So, but he's for the people though. So it's like, I personally stand for what he has to offer. So that's kind of my standpoint on things. What is it that you don't like about Donald Trump?
Okay, well, I mean, I can go into a lot. He denies science, like climate change. He specifically was held civilly liable. He bragged about walking into the changing rooms of naked women without their consent, right, while they were changing. And it was actually, there was an 18-year-old that came out, said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms when Donald Trump would barge in. We can
Okay.
also point to him saying he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. His policy is taking away free school lunch and breakfast from 420,000 children per month on average, along with 2.5 million people off their food stamps and over 10 million people off of their Medicare or Medicaid. So I think that his policy is disastrous, adds more to the
And then let
debt,
me ask you this:
and is worse for the American people.
what is one thing that you do agree with Donald Trump on?
Operation Warp Speed. I like the increase in the child tax credit. I wish it were more. The no tax on tips deduction, the no tax on overtime deduction, and no tax on Social Security deduction. It's not no tax on all of those things, but it's a deduction from them, which I think is good to some extent. The TikTok ban Lyft.
Well, good. I'm glad that's at least something we could agree on. You know what I mean? Because after the whole Charlie Kirk situation, I'm very big on coming to agreement with things. Whether it's your political opinion or not. Um, there's right and wrong to things, and I think that the whole politics thing is a huge standpoint for people. But I think that regardless of what you view, you got to come to an agreement on at least something you like. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, like, I mean, you must see there to be some agreement with the left on universal health care. The fact that there's 45 to 68,000 American lives lost every
Oh
single
yeah,
year due to lack of health insurance in this country. Do you agree?
absolutely, absolutely. I think that the entire healthcare thing is an entire scheme of just evil in a way. Um, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that the left say. Especially when it comes to transgender things and stuff of that sort. That's just the way I was raised. Being down in the South, not saying there's anything wrong with what you believe in, but I don't believe in sort of things of that sort, like the whole delusion thing of saying a man can be a woman and a woman can be a
That's
man.
that's not the
I
claim
don't
we're
believe in
making.
that.
We're making the claim that trans men are men and trans women are women, which is a completely valid, legitimate, and objectively true claim based upon the definition that we're providing. And then specifically, what about trans people do you disagree with?
It's the fact that a man can't be a woman and a
No one's
woman
claiming that.
can't.
No one's claiming that. Trans men are men and trans women are women.
But okay, I understand that, but it's like the whole fact of there's some people who are so delusional that are like, oh yeah, a man can have a baby. Like, there's plenty of
Like
things that I've seen.
trans
Things
men
that
can have a uterus. Yeah, did you know that?
a trans man, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
not actually a man. It's
It
a
is a
it's a
man.
woman
That is actually a man.
trying, but it's a woman
Nope, it's
trying
a
to be a
man.
man.
Nope, it's a man.
I mean, look,
Well,
like I
what is
said,
your
you have,
what? Well, can I ask you these
I
questions
have
then?
my, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think that gender is solely biological?
Um, Gender is what you were born as.
No, 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 no. So is gender solely biological?
So if you were born a man, you're a man. If you were born a female, you're a
You're not
female.
born a man because you're not born an adult, right?
Oh,
You
okay.
think men are adults. So like, let's just clarify. Like,
Okay, you're literal. I get it.
gender and sex are different, right?
No. So
No.
if, like I said, if you're born a man or a male, you are male. If you're a female, you're a female.
Okay. If
There's
gender
no
and
ifs, ands,
sex
or
aren't
buts.
different than our when I was like a 1 year old, was I a man?
No, you are a boy. you are
Okay,
a male.
so there's a difference between gender and sex.
Um, I mean, regardless, at the end of the day, you can't, whether 1 years old or 200 years old, you're still a man. No ifs, ands, or buts. You might grow your hair out and paint your
Sure.
nails, but you're not a woman.
Okay, no one's making that claim. So no one's making a claim that they just like immediately change these. We're just saying that gender isn't solely biologically based, right? There's aspects of gender that are sociologically determined, right? Similarly to how names, right, are not biological and that there's social elements to it, right? Do you accept JD Vance's preferred name?
And what is that?
That wasn't his that wasn't his name that he was born, like assigned at birth. So do you accept his name?
Right.
Because
But
that's
he
not what his
didn't,
name was assigned at birth.
he didn't change his gender.
He changed his name.
Okay,
What?
yeah, you can absolutely change your
So-
name.
Wait.
That's
so,
fine, but that's not the argument. That's not the argument here.
Wait. So then, why is that valid?
That's
Why is
a
that
name.
not delusional to
I
change
mean-
your name from your name assigned at birth? Why is that not
Well, I mean,
delusional?
people give nicknames all the time. People give nicknames, so
Because it's sociologically determined,
that's
right?
not
It's not solely biological, right?
I mean, I guess in a way, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with that, to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's got to be some way, shape, or form delusion to truly believe that you're a woman when you're a man. You know what I mean?
Okay, so again, you're actually doing what's called an equivocation. You're assuming that the way they're using the term is the way that you're using the term. You're using it solely biologically. They're not. So that's actually called an equivocation fallacy. They're not delusional. You're actually delusional for believing that they are because you're not actually looking into what their particular views are, what their definition is. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can go about it in any way, shape, or form, but like down to the facts of it, it's male or female. You know what I mean?
No one's disputing that sex exists. That's not what people are
Yeah,
disputing.
absolutely. Can I
They're
ask you a
just
quick
saying
question?
that gender isn't solely biological. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a quick question? Are you a Christian? Or do you believe in Jesus and the Bible?
I'm not a Christian, no. Are you?
You're not. So I am. What are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm an agnostic atheist.
So you don't so what does that mean? You don't technically believe in really anything of a higher power?
It means I don't know what the cause is of our existence, and I don't believe it's a god.
Gotcha. So okay. So I understand, like, where you're coming from that standpoint. I mean, I'm sure you might understand where I come from my standpoint and my beliefs. With me being a Christian and all, I don't truly believe in that kind of stuff. I'm not going
I
to say
think you actually do because you're Christian. You want me to tell you why? God the
Why is that?
Father, what biology does he have? Is he
What
male?
do you-
Is God the Father male? Because you use he, him pronouns
is.
to refer to him, but he has no
Right.
male biology.
Okay, so I mean, regardless of all of that, it's that's my opinion, that's my belief. So that's just my standpoint on it. But I gotta go. I gotta work hard. I got a work call I gotta get to. So, but I appreciate your time, man.
I absolutely voted for Trump. I didn't always like Trump. I'll start off by saying that I voted for Biden the first term. The reason why I voted for Trump and why I continue to support Trump is because I could not vote for Kamala. The way she debated, the way she spoke, the way she interacted, and the main thing is the Trump derangement syndrome. It was painfully obvious. We're not like you. We don't sit around at computers all day, so you're going to beat me every time debating, policies and all that. Honestly, I couldn't give you one name or a statute, a policy. But what I do know is my bank account, because I invest in stocks, my stocks has soared. I do see more jobs in my area, so I see these things with my own eyes. This is what comes to fruition after Trump has been in office. Biden, it was painfully obvious that that guy was losing his mind. Can we not agree on that? Can we not agree that he was in decline right in front of our faces?
Yeah.
So-
Can we also agree that Trump is in decline?
How so? Because I don't see that.
How so?
I see a man who's tired. I see him tired, yeah. But
Okay.
who wouldn't be?
Okay, so I mean, he
In
said
his
that
position.
whales are causing windmills at numbers never seen before. He said the
Okay, you got me there. I didn't hear that. Never heard him say that.
Yeah, I can also play him clips like of him just like not being able to answer questions, being totally incoherent, rambling. Would you like me to play a clip right now?
I guess, yeah. I got 9%, so go ahead. Play me one.
All right, I got you.
Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at
I'm
Alligator
going to
Alcatraz.
spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it just like a diamond. Right. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that.
Yeah, that sounds like a tired man. You can stop, Parker. You can stop. I get where you're going.
He keeps on going.
I get where you're going. Yeah. I mean, not as bad as Joe Biden was doing, but I need context behind that as well. I'm always somebody who needs to see it. I need to see his face while he's talking. I need to know the context. Has he been flying for 24 hours? Oops, excuse my language, but has he been flying for 24 hours?
What the hell?
And this is the last interview of the day. Is he just, fed up with the dumb question? But regardless, the man has shown strength that we desperately need right now. Joe Biden or Kamala Harris.
Come on.
I don't believe they could have done half of what he did. Before he even got into office, he started making moves. He hit the ground.
I just want to let you know. She
couldn't give us a policy even right before she was getting,
She did have a policy. I just want to let you know, though, the same excuses you just made for Trump are the exact same excuses people made for Biden. Exact same. No different. I'm serious.
For 4 years
like seriously,
Biden,
people were like Biden. The reason why he was like that at the debates is because he had like two different things he was flying from like right before. That's the exact same thing that they said for Biden, right? I'm sorry, like if you're gonna say that, that's crazy. So did Trump. Trump fell downstairs.
He was falling downstairs in front of people. I mean, like he couldn't speak a coherent sentence during the freaking debate.
Same with Trump.
No, that was one little clip.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. Is that coherent? Does that make sense?
Like I said, no. But I've never seen that. I will look into it after this, and then I'll look at his face. I'll look at the questions that were asked before and after. If that's the only incoherent thing that he said, I'd say he's still the right man for the job.
That's not the only incoherent thing. And also, like, again, you're comparing Biden to Trump. The candidate for our last campaign was Harris, which Harris is significantly more cognitively aware than both Trump and Biden.
She was another Biden. Come on. She was another Biden.
But significantly more cognitively aware than Joe Biden. Not even close.
Yeah, but she still didn't have anything to say to the people. I mean, she was put in a position where she could not fail, and she could not do it.
That's just not true.
She couldn't do it. And hey, I'm not against a woman president. I'm not.
Okay.
But it's got to be the right one. And she was not it.
She's definitely better than Trump. I'm sorry. Why is this standard?
How do you know that?
Wait, I'm sorry.
She hasn't even been in office.
By the way, why do people say this? They're like, if there's going to be a woman president, it needs to be quote unquote the right one, as if like 99.
There's differences between men and women, right?
Stop. Like 99% of the men who were presidents were perfect or something. Like that's crazy. Like they specifically.
Well, would you want a Lori Lightfoot to be
God,
the country?
Can you please let me finish a point?
Dude, I only got 6% left on my phone. I gotta make this quick, and I'm not trying to get cut off or whatever. But
you're not trying to get cut off, but you're cutting me off. Okay, bud. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to let my phone die in mid sentence.
Okay, that's fine. Turn down your brightness.
Okay, it's
you should only lose 4% if you have like high brightness.
Go ahead. Let's land the plane, bud.
Can you plug it in too?
I don't have a cord in my car. I'm in my work truck right now, and my daughter took my cord out. So. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm literally on the road right now, but I did want.
Are you driving?
No, not anymore. Like I said, I parked. Parker.
So wait, you're gonna run down your phone all the way so you don't even have a phone to. Maybe you should get off the live right now, actually, because
To
like,
get home, dude, I know my way home. I don't need GPS to get home. But
okay,
I mean, if you want me to get off, that's cool, man. I got what I
no,
wanted to
no,
say. I'm
no,
glad I had the
well,
opportunity to say it.
no, we'll keep the juice on your phone. It's fine. I'm just making sure you're safe. Okay, that's what I was
No,
worried
yeah,
about.
I'm fine. Yeah, yeah. See, you know what? See, I would start liking you guys if you could just be like that. You don't have to scrutinize, and you don't have to throw these little quips out to people to get your point across. You guys are intelligent. I will say that. You guys are smarter than I was at that age, but you are still kids. All right, and your
Yeah.
opinions will change in 10 years. I guarantee you, Parker. I guarantee it. I will pay attention to you in the next 10 years when you start having kids
Well,
and you
watch me
start
here.
really diving
Watch
into
me
the
here.
world.
Watch me here. My
Yeah.
opinions are changing all the time. Just the way that people think, though, they think I'm gonna like adopt your ideology or something. But my opinions, yes, change all the time. They become more understanding of things, right? I always take into account new things, and I'm not always gonna tell people that I have these different perspectives. But I'm constantly changing my mind. I'm 23 years old. Yes, my mind changes all the time, right? That's why when things are happening as they do, my mind is changing too as things happen. So it's also like important to like to hear me out, to try to hear my perspective, and to try to also understand it, because I think that if you do, like, it's going to give you a deeper perspective on the matter, right, from where I'm coming from. And in terms of this,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, and that's the same as the other.
I have been like
Go
this.
ahead.
I have been like this. I am like this as a person. I've always been like this in terms of caring
You
for
should show
everyone.
it more on online. You should.
I do,
You really should.
I do, but there's a lot of people on the internet.
Humanizes both sides. It really does, man.
I,
We all can learn from each other. We all
I,
can learn from each other. I'm not trying to sound sappy, but you can learn from the right just as well as they can learn from you. You guys are like intellectually smart, but that's not all of the picture. You guys don't know enough about life to be talking to grown-ups who've been in this game 60 years.
Yeah,
Your
yes, I do.
perspectives are different because you grew up in different times.
Wait, I'm sorry. I am old enough to be able to talk to people who are older than me, especially about things that they are being absurd about. Like, again, there are people that come up on my live that are obviously being absurd, where it makes sense for me to match energy to some degree and respond in that way. Of course, I want to be very gracious
Blow
with
for
people.
blow, yeah.
I try to give people a lot of grace. Oftentimes, I hear more people arguing. I give people too much grace. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a level of grace that you give to every single person, and it's going to change based upon the set of circumstances. And obviously, due to the type of people that are willing to come up on live, who are MAGA, who are willing to debate it in front of like 12,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a very small. Less people are willing to do that. It's not like I'm talking to the average person, right? I'm talking to the average person that's willing to go up on a TikTok live in front of so many people, who has Trump
I think
views.
more and more people are willing to do that now. Yeah, yeah. And I will say this, people, the everyday Trumper is they're not, I'm not dogging Trump because I love my Southern brothers. I'm from up here up north, but I've lived in Texas half of my life. But we're different people. They're more of the earth. Hard cornbread
Here.
fed, and up here they're a little more, I'd say intellectual. I know that's probably be taken out of context.
Here,
But
while
they don't
I
really
still, I don't
care.
mean to cut you off, but while I still have you, I think it's important to bring us back to like the points that you were making earlier. So, in terms of these perspectives, like you said, like more jobs, the economy is doing better. I need to be very clear. Trump is really, really bad for the economy. Not only is our inflation trending up, 2.9%, it's continuing to keep trending up since 2.3% in April of 2025, which was Liberation Day when Donald Trump imposed the tariffs to the degree that we're referencing. The stock market also wasn't doing so great at the very beginning of his administration, and Trump supporters were arguing that that's not a good metric because in the long run it will go up. Well, under Biden's administration, it was at all-time highs as well, so we would likely see it higher if Biden were president right now comparative to Trump being president. Thirdly, if we want to look at the economic policy, the jobs report was so bad that Donald Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics and then put someone new in the position, and then they came out with even less jobs on the jobs report numbers. So like it's not actually good for the economy right now. So like I don't think that saying that Trump brings a strong economy is a good argument.
I turned my light down and my phone's still dying, but real quick, just let me get. I might be able to hit on one of those points. The stock market. You said it was down when Trump got into office. You got to give him time, man. He had a lot on his plate before he got there, and most of us who voted for Trump are willing to sacrifice certain things to protect our borders? Do we see that as an existential threat? I love immigrants, man. A lot of my friends, like I said, I'm from Texas, and I had a lot of migrant friends and grew up with them. Very, very good people. But it's like this. Let me say my last point. It's like I look at it as a house party. All right. You want the biggest house party, right? On the block. Your parents are out of town. You want to invite a certain amount of people to your house party. But what happens if those people invite other people? Those people start inviting other people. The party gets shut down. That's what we don't want to happen, and that's what we see happening. And that's my thought on that. And nothing against migrants, but we have to protect. We have to protect our home. I mean, we just have to protect our home. It's as simple as that. It's nothing against them. It's just preserving us. And then that's that. That's how I look at it.
Go for it, absolutely.
I'll just hop in real quick. It doesn't sound like you're having a house party, because some of the best house parties are ones that continue to grow and people actually have a great time. It sounds like you're having a frat party, right? Where it's really specific as far as who you want to let in and how you want to control it and what you want it to actually look like. Yes, this country's not a party.
Right, but when the cops show up and shut it down, the party's over. So,
I mean, so first and foremost, like the cops it has to be like the economy crashing, and Donald Trump is literally calling the cops on everyone. He's calling the cops on us because he's doing things to crash the economy. This party could keep going as long as Donald Trump stop implementing tariffs, stop actually exhibiting fascist tendencies, stop trying to silence people's First Amendment right. But Donald Trump is the one calling the cops, and he's shutting down the party. That's the problem.
Well, that was more metaphorical, like Chicago, clean that up.
Chicago crime rates down. You guys just
clean all that up.
It's funny that you just went to the actual cities where there's a high population of black people, but you don't talk about the actual cities like in Mississippi.
It has nothing to do with that.
You don't talk about like Mississippi.
I'm half black myself. I was raised by a black, strong, beautiful woman.
I hear you, but
don't go there.
Again, the talking point tends to lean towards those cities that have high black populations, but you don't actually talk about like Jackson, Mississippi. No, he didn't. He backed out. Taco.
Okay, well, he was going to, so that's why I brought up Chicago. That was pretty much it. It wasn't black or white. It was literally what?
Do you agree that he can't
Tuesday already?
Do you agree that he can't constitutionally do that because he doesn't have the consent of the governor?
That, Parker, that would be more your field. I don't know. I would have thought that the president, if he thought the country was in harm, I mean, they sent it on Detroit back in the 60s. They sent it we're not, I'm in Detroit right now. We're not unfamiliar to the National Guard here.
Okay, well, conservatives all the time say that they're like very pro upholding the systems in terms of these different types of like legal systems especially, and this violates that. This violates the Constitution. Conservatives say that they care about the Constitution, but then support someone who calls for the termination of the Constitution, who actively does things that undermine core tenets of the Constitution, such as freedom of speech, right? Such as like the basis in the context of rule of law, due process rights, like the 14th Amendment. We can point to plenty of different things. Oh, he just left.
Yeah, I think his phone said that's enough.
Oh, I just realized what it was. That was his phone.